Hello everyone, 大家好, this is Jeffrey and welcome to Jyuttoi, a place where you can find useful contents to help you learn Cantonese Chinese as a foreign language. Today's episode is actually long overdue because, for the past month or so, I've been uploading daily Cantonese phrase to Jyuttoi's Instagram page so you can learn about them. And recently, I've received some very constructive feedbacks from the followers that they would like to also have audio for the phrases so they will know how the phrases actually sound like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to revisit and review these phrases that I've posted on Instagram to give in-depth explanations of the phrases themselves and the example sentences. Ready? Let's get started.
請小心，請小心，請小心月台。
So the first phrase we have here is 臨門一腳. 臨門一腳. Okay, so there are 4 words in it, so let's break it down and see what those 4 words individually means. 臨 is a verb, means to arrive, and 門 is a noun, meaning a door or a gate. And in the context of this phrase, it actually refers to a specific type of 門, which is 龍門, dragon's door or dragon's gate. What does that mean? So in some types of ball games, for example, football, hockey, handball, or even rugby, it means the goalposts or the goal line or simply the goal. So in this case, the 門 means the goal. And the third word, 一 means one, or sometimes it can refer to the article a. And the final word, 腳, usually it means a leg or a foot. But actually in this case, it's a classifier meaning kick. So you get it, the literal translation of 臨門一腳 means the last touch or the last kick before scoring a goal in the football match. And the real meaning is the final stage of something nearest completion. And there we go to the example sentence. 個客臨門一腳先話唔簽份約，激死. That means the client told us that they are not signing the contract right in the final stage. Damn. So there are a few words in the example sentence that I would love to explain more deeply. So the first one is 客. 客. 客 means customer or client. It's a noun. And then 約 or 合約 means contract. So 簽份約 is to sign the contract. And the final one, 激死. 激死 is something that you will say when you are really annoyed by someone or something and you are really angry and you will say this word, 激死. And I also have to mention that for 臨門一腳, there's another variation that people would use with the identical meaning, which is 埋門一腳, just changing the first word from 臨 to 埋. So 埋門一腳, 埋. Like 臨 is also a verb, means to approach. So it basically means the same thing. 臨門一腳 or 埋門一腳. You can choose which variation you would like to say. So for the second phrase, 路人甲. 路人甲. We can break it down again to 路人 and 甲. So 路人 means pedestrian or a passerby. And 甲 is a way to name things with Chinese characters, which we use to name things that are not very important, or the names are not important that we don't bother to name them. Equivalent to maybe like using alphabets to name things in English, like A, B, C, D, we will use 甲乙丙丁 in Chinese. So the literal translation of 路人甲 is passerby A or a walk-on part. So the origin of this term is actually from the scripts of movies or theatrics, where there would be some characters that are not important or not significant. They only have one line or even no lines, so we don't bother to name them, and we give them the name 路人甲. So now we'll also use this term to describe a person of little relevance or not important to the present situation. So the example sentence, 原來頭先嗰個人係董事嚟，成個路人甲咁. So that person we just saw is a board member He looked like an irrelevant person though. So there are also a couple of words that I would like to cover more deeply. The first thing is 頭先. 頭先 means just now. 董事is a board member of a company. So the third phrase, 冇手. We break it down again. 冇 is having none or without, and 手 sometimes it can mean an arm and sometimes it can mean a hand. The literal translation is no hands or without hands. The real meaning of this phrase is have both hands occupied. This phrase is generally used to provide excuses for not doing something or to provide reasons for getting help. So let's go over the example sentence. 我頭先冇手，聽唔到電話。I missed your call just now, as both of my hands are occupied. So in this example, I'm actually providing an excuse for missing your call or not answering to your call. And in this example sentence, we also find the word 頭先, which means just now, which we saw in the previous example. And 電話 means telephone or mobile phone or a call. 電話. And the next phrase, 行街. Beware of the word 行, because the same character, if they're used as different part of speech, it will be pronounced differently. In this case, we're using it as a verb, to walk. So we'll pronounce it as 行. And 街 is a noun, means street. So this structure, a verb followed by a noun, is actually very common in Chinese. The noun will be used to describe the action. And as we go on, we will see more of these examples. And 行街, in this sense, literally means to walk on the streets. And we have two real meanings of 行街. The first one is actually more common than the second one. The first one is to go shopping. And the second one is take away, which is a jargon which will be used by staff in a 茶餐廳 or a random restaurant. And the example sentence, 要個牛腩麵加底行街唔該。阿哥仔梗係行街啦，都冇得堂食。Beef brisket noodles with extra noodles. Takeaway please. Dude, of course it's gonna be takeaway. Dine-in is banned. So currently, dine-in is banned in Hong Kong. So that's why I've come up with this example sentence. And in this example sentence, it's actually using the second meaning of the word 行街. Let us also go over some keywords in the example. 牛腩麵means beef brisket noodles. Really good. 唔該 is a very, very important Cantonese phrase that you must have to learn because it's used to thank people when you are given a favor, and it's always good to be polite, right? And there's also another way to say take away, which is 外賣 or 拎走. And here I'm also going to give you a bonus example sentence which uses the first meaning of 行街, which is to go shopping. 我哋一齊行街買衫. So we're going to go shopping together and buy clothes. So we come to the fifth and final phrase of today's episode. 到喉唔到肺. So we break it down again. 到喉. 到 is a verb, meaning to reach. 喉 is a noun, meaning the throat, the trachea, or sometimes it also means the esophagus. 唔到肺 is a word we generally use to negate a verb. So 到 means to reach, right? So 唔到 would mean to not reach. 肺 is another noun, meaning the lungs. What does that really mean? It's used to describe a situation where a desire is not being satisfied completely. Have a look at the example sentence and you'll know. 加大個餐又好似太飽，唔加大又到喉唔到肺咁。It might seem too much if I get the large meal, but the medium meal won't be able to sate my hunger. Okay, so in this case, we're talking about we're at a fast food chain and we're struggling to decide whether to have the large meal or the medium meal. Here, let's also go over a few of the vocabulary. 餐 means set meal. 飽 means filling. To conclude, 到喉唔到肺, we can use it to describe something that is either not completely satisfying a desire or something that is not entirely completed. For example, the desire could be hunger, as we've just mentioned in the example sentence, or the satisfaction you get from a movie or a drama. Maybe the plot is not good enough that makes you feel 到喉唔到肺. Or sometimes when we're playing a ball game, we're making a pass, but the effort or the force is not enough to reach your teammate. We'll also use 到喉唔到肺 to describe the pass. We've covered 5 phrases in today's episode. If you have any further questions about the phrases, feel free to leave a comment below. Or if you have any comment about the format of phrase review, you're also welcome to leave a comment below and I'll see how I can improve the video making. And if you like the video, please don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe to the channel. That's it for today. 我哋下條片見. See you in the next video. Bye bye 啦〜